I think we're ready. I think we're live. Good morning. Welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. And what have we got on the list for you this morning? Let's find out. So I got a cuppa. I'm sure you probably got, maybe you've got a cup of tea, maybe you've got a cup of coffee, or maybe you've got a beer. That would be cool. Right. On to today's topics. Rest in pieces. That is topic number one, a sad day. And Anthony, thank you very much for that. I appreciate you letting me know that the audio is good. I do appreciate that. And by the way, you can see today's live chat above my head as well. Topic number two is the maiden of the Eagle, which you can see back there. That went well. Well, what you saw was the third flight actually of it. Was it the third flight? Yeah, it must have been the third flight. And we'll get to that in a minute. And topic number three was I a bit mean yesterday? Bit of a retrospective look at the videos which I published yesterday. Topic number four is I'm still drooling, in short. And that's it for today's topics. And good morning to everybody's on the chat. We will get to you in just a few moments time. So let's move straight into topic number one, which is the Micro Skyhunter. I unfortunately have pieces of it here. Sad times. That's what's left of my Micro Skyhunter. The last flight killed it. How I didn't stuff it in the hedge, I do not know. It went off and it tried talking left. So I pulled it right, and then it almost went in the hedge, and then I overcompensated and stuffed it in the ground rather fast. So it finally gave up. Now, I've got a playlist here. So I've updated the links in the video description for you. And by the way, everything you see on my screen, I've put links for it in the video description. And one of those is to the playlist for the Micro Skyhunter. Now, this one has featured quite heavily over the last couple of months, since I've had it, because I've really enjoyed the Micro Skyhunter. And don't panic, I've got the Suicide Bunny up there. I do have a spare one here, but I promised it to Dave. And I've been on and ordered some parts for a new one as well. Remember, buy the parts rather than buying the kit, because it works out quite a bit cheaper, to say the least. Anyway, coming back onto the topic, I've had so much fun with it. Like, from the moment when I realised that I could have one for nigh on half price compared to the prices back then. I ran it on 4S, we had a race with it, and then in the race I hit the back of Dave's Sky Fun with it. What else did we do? Yeah, I just had so much fun with it. We were just reaching for the clouds with it. We had that day when we had the low cloud, and we went cloud surfing with it as well. Oh, good times, good times. What else we on the Suicide Straight, shooting down Suicide Straight, ducking and diving in and out of the trees with that little one. Yeah, you can see how many videos I've made on board with the Micro Skyhunter. I really do like the Micro Skyhunter, and I'm quite sad that my original one has had it. But let's be fair, it did take an absolute nut ragging. And also, we now have Suicide Bunny, which is in a whole new league of its own. That one's got to be easily doing 100 miles an hour. And remember, I do have a GPS sensor thingy here somewhere. Oh, look, there you go. I do have one of those. If it will focus. Come on. There we go. I do have one of those on my desk, which I bought off Banggood about a week ago. And it's turned up. So I will put that in the Suicide Bunny and find out how fast it really is going. So yeah, it's sad news. The Micro Skyhunter is gone. So apologies to start it on a sad topic, but good news, there is another one on the way to me. And as we can see by Tom in the Facebook group, I think Tom is super excited. In that big, huge, great big box there, he may have a Micro Skyhunter. Really, look at it, his excitement. He's going to be getting himself a Micro Skyhunter. Unbelievable. Right, anyway, let's go to the shout out corner. So this is where I say good morning to you, and also thank you for joining me today for today's RC Coffee Chat. So starting at the top. Let's scroll on up. Right, good morning, Joe. Although I know that you're off slope soaring this evening, so have fun, Joe. And well, actually, when you're watching this, Joe, I hope you have really good fun out slope soaring. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning, Kev. Good morning, BMX. Good morning, Stu Jade, and good morning, Lee. Good morning, Philip, who is going to be made in his Spirit 600, which I have one here next to me at the moment, and I've frankly just not had time to get it ready. Who else have we got on here this morning? Ref, good morning. Anthony, good morning. Nabil, good morning. Anthony, good morning. Olin, Jim, Jeff, 7Demo7, good morning. Andy, good morning. Phil, good morning as well. Austin, scrolling down. Scott, good morning too, sir. Tom, good morning. Elroy, good morning, fella. Moving on down, we got on there. Oh, look, Tom! Scary entry. Yes, this is your face of excitement for potentially having a micro Skyhunter in that huge, great big box. You must have many of them. Not really me. Good morning. Jake's RC stuff, good morning. Tom, good morning as well. So let's move back. And RCO Aviation, good morning too. And of course, if you are watching the recorded version, you can say hello in the section underneath this video too. And John Van, I'm sorry, my pronunciation's not very good, so I'm just going to say good morning, John. Good morning to all, very good morning to all of you. Now, we were just discussing the micro Skyhunter and what sad times it was that my original one has completely had it, and you're gonna have to excuse me, my eye is absolutely killing me, and like I said, I've been working my tits off for the last couple of weeks, and it's catching up with me a bit. Yes, Sky Muncher or Sky Munter, those little mental things, and this is Tom, which I'm sure many of you met in a previous episode. Fantastic guy, and he's been to aerobatic.be and bought a huge great big box. Potentially he has a micro Skyhunter in there, although I've got a sneaky suspicion that he's been and gone for sadly a different model. So I'm just keeping half an eye on that on your chat in the background. So topic number 2 is need to get the right tab. Right, the Eagle finally got it built yesterday. She's sat over there. In fact, I'll go and grab the fuselage in a second. She's just literally sat here because I came in and just dumped her after flying her yesterday out the front. Look at the blooming size of the wingspan on that model. It's absolutely huge. Now, I did think it was going to be a little bit pitch sensitive because it's somewhat short coupled, if that makes sense. It's a bit like the Clouds wing, where we got a large, the Clouds FPV model, where we've got a large wingspan and a short tail. But actually, it's really stable in the sky, and it was exceptionally, it was windy, but it was also gusty yesterday, which made it a real good challenge. So the first flight which I had with her, absolutely fantastic. Managed to land it perfectly out on the front lawn. Second flight was a bit ropey on the way back down, but I still managed to get it in on the front lawn. And then the third flight, well, let me just change the photo a second. It went in one of the hedges. So they like to nest, apparently. That was Jamie's comment in there. Give you a quick rundown. I've got a Raystar 2212 1000 kV motor with a 9x6 or a 10x5, somewhere on there. Oh, a 10x3.8 propeller on the front. I did put ailerons on this model, and frankly, I do actually think that was a really good idea. Let me see if I can unpick this a moment, and I'll show you. Let me get in here. So I've used one of those little clippy. There we go. Yeah, let me turn it around this way. What I've been done on mine is put ailerons in here, and that does make it handle. So I don't know if you can, how well you can see that on there. So I've come out to that file. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've come out 10 little doodads. Move this the right way round and put servos in on the top, and that has made it more responsive. I was also a bit worried about the fuselage, the wings moving around in the fuse, so I did craft a little balsa little plate in there, so it's simple to put in and it will hold it still and stop it waggling around. So that's what I did for the wings. For the fuselage, it was a dead simple build. I will laminate the fuselage because it's going to get dirty very, very quickly. And you'll kind of see what I've got in there for the setup. I've got a D4R2 on the top, pair of little those Tower Pro MG90 servos in there. It did come with the little ball, the little screw doodads for the end of the servo control servo horns. I've got well, it's probably overkill, but I do have a 30 amp ESC in there. Well, it was the nearest one which I had to hand. I did put an 850 3S battery pack in there, and it was still a little bit nose heavy, but it flew absolutely fine. And yeah, happy days. We're gonna stick some we're gonna stick a little FPV camera up on the top and do some slow FPV, and if I can fly it out the front, that is classed as happy days. Now I am just having a quick look. The chat on the left hand side. Yeah, Andy says, where did you get the EPP Eagle? I got it from Banggood. There's a link in the video description. Or the link is an affiliate link, so if you use that, you will support the channel. By the way, there are plenty of codes kicking around for Banggood. One which has always worked is affiliate 6, and that will give you 6% off any item which is not on promotion or on sale or in clearance. So I need to get that right. Or you can use some of your points to get some money off. Yeah, $46. Pretty sure I didn't pay $46 for mine. I would have definitely paid less, and I'm frankly really quite chuffed with it so far. It was quite gusty out there yesterday, and I was still able to land it in one piece, but I would 100% recommend modding it to put ailerons on there. It doesn't come with ailerons, it's just a straightforward V-tail at the back. So you do need to make sure, if you can do elevon mixing on your transmitter, instead of mixing in ailerons, you mix in the rudder. And it's a little bit funky, so just look it up on YouTube if you've not done a V-tail before. But definitely do put ailerons on it. That does make things, it does make it an awful lot more controllable in the sky. And of course, once I get some decent height on there with her, is that I'll just move to rudder movements, if that makes sense. So yeah, cheap, absolutely cheap. Thanks. Oh yeah, Jeff, I can't wait to see your one back if that's been finished. Happy days. So yeah, really like the Eagle so far. Like I said, going to load it up with some FPV, fly it out the front, go and see if we can get some birds to go and harass with it. It's going to be good fun. And Dave, one of the guys which I fly with, again, it was his fault I bought it because he was eyeing one up, and I was like, oh, if you're going to buy one, I'm going to buy one. So we'll have 2 of them up in the sky. So it's going to be good fun, good fun. Oh, and the birds here didn't like it either. They went squawking around everywhere. Brilliant. Brilliant. So yeah, there's my unscheduled landing with her from yesterday. Now topic number 3. I don't have a tab open for this. Let me go and grab it a second and grab the YouTube channel. Chop. Right. When YouTube loads up, thank you very much. I'm just pausing for a cuppa. Yeah, let me pop this on here. So yesterday, maybe I was a little bit, well, I don't know. It's up for you. It's for you to kind of decide. Maybe I was a bit mean to HobbyKing yesterday. Now, I kind of feel that I raised 2 valid points. The first one was the TBRC Reflex 38, which is currently the header image on the Facebook group. I did pop that in there this morning, and I've just been lost that. There we go. If I scroll up, get past Tom in a second, I've updated the Facebook group header image with the Reflex 38. Now the thing is, it was getting a bit awkward because that model did go down in history as the loudest, and you can imagine the models which I've had and how loud some of them have been. The Mini Drac is actually quieter, or was quieter, than the Reflex 38, and that was getting a little bit awkward. So I had a look at it. I've got the motor here. Now, I don't know how... I've taken it apart, but I don't know how well this is going to come out on the microphone, so I'll spin it. Can you hear the rattle? It is properly shot. So I am going to pillage the magnets out of there, that's for sure, and nip the bullets off the end, and then it's going to go in the filing cabinet. The noise on it was absolutely horrific, so I'm going to stick a Cobra 2814 motor on the back of it instead. So loads of thrust, and hopefully nowhere as much as noise as what it was the other day when we took her out. And it was a little bit embarrassing. I said to Andrew before we went out flying is that I'll try and bring some of my quieter models with me, which I did, but I did bring the mini Drac as well, and I brought that one because I felt a bit mean because I haven't really flown it lately at all. And then I took it out, and it would turn out to be the loudest model which I own or have ever owned, and it turned out the bearings were absolute shite. Those bearings are trashed, and unfortunately that's not the first one which I've had like that either. Riff. I have throttle management issues, so I can tell you most of my motors have had a damn good ragging. But the feedback which we had yesterday on that video was absolutely fantastic. And what seemed to, and again, I want to paint this as like a fair picture, and you're more than welcome to go and see it. In fact, let me go and click on this and hit Pulsamo. Do go and have a look at the comments in there, and I want to make sure that I'm giving like a fair view to this, which is that if you read through the comments, is that the NTM motors, the lower KV motors, don't seem to be an issue. There is a lot of comments in there with people rating the NTM motors. A lot of people have had them for a long period of time, but the ones which seem to be working great are the lower KV motors. Obviously, those bearings aren't underneath so much strain at lower KVs. So it looks like it's only the high KV ones, and to be fair, HobbyKing no longer sell the NTM 2200 KV motor to my knowledge, and again I do have the 3000 KV version, which sounds like a jet turbine, and again I've had that 3000 KV one on the back of the Micro Skyhunter, but I wanted to give a fairer picture of what's going on. Bearing absolutely shot on that one, so I'm just going to basically rape it of its magnets and nip the bullets off it. What was the consensus? The consensus was the NTM motors are actually pretty good if you choose the lower KV ones, where their bearings are not underneath so much strain. And have a read through the comments. There's a lot of feedback in there. I haven't had a chance to personally go back and thank everybody and reply to everybody who's left a message or a comment on that video yet, but I will do at some point today, this evening. So if you did leave me a comment on that one, thank you very much. And if you're curious about the NTM motors, there's a lot of really good feedback in there about the NTM motors, but the caveat to that, it does seem the higher KV ones, the bearings really don't last, unfortunately. So that's just been my experience. And also, again, I felt a bit mean yesterday, because I also went on and published and it was genuinely actually a poke at HobbyKing, this one, which is that there are still no 7x6.5 propellers available for the EF Extra. So apparently there's a full parts list available. You can buy a new fuselage, you can buy wings, you can buy stickers, you can buy the cowling, you can buy the motor, you can buy the motor mount, you can buy the prop adapter, but can you buggery buy the propeller for 4S, or the recommended propeller? No, you can't. So and the other awkward thing is as well, it's a very low profile propeller, and I don't have any of those, and the ones which are available are only available in the global warehouse, which are near. So I did find it a little bit frustrating. And by the way, those of you which have got an EF Extra, you probably already know this. You need to put enough, again, as you'll learn to see from my experience there, you need to put enough throttle in there so it really wants to pull out of your hand and then launch it. And hopefully we'll be out flying her today on there. So I'm just going to pause for a moment to go to your chat. A moment. Yeah, I've got one like that. It's a 2200 kV. That's what mine is as well, Stewed. And again, I'm looking at your comments there, so apologies if I'm not looking straight at you. Jake says, I have an NTM 500 kV in my EF Extra 300. The ring it round goes around the bottom of the magnet, flown out on the side of two motors. HobbyKing don't sell any NTM motors. They have been renamed to prop drive. Yeah, so it's the NTM or prop drive. That's what I meant in there. So apologies for any confusion on there. Yeah, totally shot bearings. It was like a big poke at HobbyKing yesterday. I feel my experience warranted that. I didn't mean for both those episodes to come out in both days. The one about the crappy bearings was a bit of an ad hoc one. It was, I've just spinning the blade and you can hear it in there. It's not good. A bit of a shame, to say the least. Right, let's get back to the show notes. The last topic which I have is I'm still drooling. I mentioned this one yesterday. I've got it even sat in my shopping cart, and I keep going, do I buy it? Do I not buy it? It's completely impractical. We can't fly it up at one of the farmers' fields where we fly. It would just end up into smithereens, as in I'll keep it in the air, but landing that landing, well, we just basically need skis on the bottom of it. It's so muddy up there at the moment. It's completely impractical. I've got a list of reasons why I should buy it. One of those is I really like it and I've wanted it for ages. And then on the other hand, I've got a list of reasons why I shouldn't buy it. And right now, it's kind of leaning that way on why I shouldn't buy it. So I keep going back and looking at this one. I know I mentioned it yesterday, but it is one of those models because of the landing gear, because of the type of the model. It's just no use unless we take it to one of the flying clubs where there's a nice mown landing strip to land it on. And I am thinking here, it's not like I don't have enough other models sat here, you know, but I really do like that one. And yeah, I don't know, I just keep holding back on it. And like we had the conversation yesterday about drooling over different models. That's the one which is doing it for me, but it's that fine line at the moment. It's completely impractical. Couldn't even fly it at home. Has to go to one of the club sites rather than like the farmer's field, which is great. I would FPV it. It's got a nice big canopy. You could put a little pan tilt in there, but the landing of it is a massive challenge. So I don't know. I keep lusting over it. You know how it is. Yeah, I'll probably end up buying it. I know I will. Right, and on to the last topic for today. I didn't put it in there. Is that I'm sure you're like me when you look at the weather and you go, "Oh, look, flying day." So today it's a bit overcast to say the least this morning, but into this afternoon, the weather is absolutely perfect for flying. So that kind of weather reeks FPV. It also kind of reeks, do I need to get the FMS Extra Edge 540 out, take it up to one of the flying clubs and enjoy a bit of sun in the afternoon? I think I might be. So I'm really fantastic weather. And then unfortunately Thursday looks a little bit ropey. Could be flyable to say the least. Friday, well, that could be classed as a slope soaring day with that wind direction. Bit ropey in the morning though. Saturday, odd direction of wind. Don't know of any slopes which take a westerly wind anywhere near me, so that's a bit of a write-off. And then Sunday, we're forecast wind and rain. Great. Not. So yeah, looks like today might be a flying day, which is classed as happy days. Let's have a quick look what's going on in the chat. Nick, good morning as well. And on that note, it is time for me to wrap up. Let me just quickly go back through today's RC coffee chat. And Tom may be in possession of a micro Skyhunter. Unfortunately, my micro Skyhunter has now seen better days and it's going to be basically pillaged for its parts. There's not much more which I can do with it. Although someone did mention in the Facebook group about making a double wing, a biplane micro Skyhunter, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't think I'll ever end up doing that, but that was a very, very good idea. Topic number 2 was the maiden of the Eagle wing. Really, really like it. I'm going to stick some FPV on it, fly it around. Absolutely really good fun. Topic number 3 was maybe I was a little bit mean to HobbyKing yesterday, but to be honest, those bearings really were shot, and you still can't buy any 7x6.5 propellers for the EF Extra, so I'm left here having to adapt other propellers to make it fit. So I can fly the model on 4S and not burn it up. And I've only got 7x6s. No, actually, I've only got 7x5s left, so I'm going to be under propped by 1.5 inches on direction for the propeller. So I won't be going as fast as I was going to be before you know. So, sad times. I didn't mean to publish both of those on the same day, but it just worked out that way. Still drooling at the Sbach 342. Maybe one day I'll cave in. And the last topic which we covered was the weather. So on that note, it is time for me to wrap up. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. I should be around same time tomorrow. And on that note, if you are out flying today, have a fantastic day's flying. If you've enjoyed today's RC Coffee Chat, do me a favour. Press the thumbs up button, the like button underneath this video, as it always helps. If you are new here, press the subscribe button. We generally run these RC Coffee Chats every single morning. Sometimes we chat about a couple of models. Sometimes we chat about what's going on in the FaceBalls group. Oh, shameless plug for the FaceBalls group. There is a link to the Facebook group in the video description. And we have now, as of yesterday, topped 700 cool pilots like me and you from all over the world. Crazy days. So on that note, it is time for me to go. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. And I shall see you about the same time tomorrow. Cheerios!